Music doesn't start unless you stop the beat. Finding out where it's hid, cause I can't make it on the street. Now I've gotta kid myself just before I can climb, clinging to everything besides the light, finding out just before the day I die. Would I make it up if I couldn't start? Would I say it's not just I who hid in the dark? Now I found out it's not just mine. Now I thought it wasn't just ours. I couldn't say I'd expect for it to be something that meant only for me. Now I think about it, I find out it's only the same thing when you wrap it in. And I could begin to say, yeah, I've yelled. I could begin to say, yeah, I've hid. But some days of the week I can't fib, cause I only tell myself the lies when I hide in the night. Now I come back around and sing, just to say I could share, or I could find there's only one way to retire, when I'm gonna be the Messiah. Now I think about it, I can't hide. I think about it, I can't climb. I think about it, I can't run. I think about it, I can't smile. I think about it, I can't run. I'm not there to drag it. Oh, where was it? Where was it? Yeah, just around there, you know, just between those two piles. In between those two piles, just out the back there, like to the left, right, down the centre. Oh, yep. Oh, yeah, I know exactly where you're meaning. Sees the place, this bloke does. That's where I'm now thinking, you know. What do you mean, stranger? When someone says, oh, was that Jim? Was that Jim? And you don't look, but you like look at what Jim looks like. They focus right on the energy of where Jim's hid. And then they're thinking in that spot. In your own brain, you're saying. In your own brain, yeah. Oh, man. That's cathedral law. No way are they, son. No way are they, son. Yeah. They get right in those tracks, you know. Right. Right, that's why it's always a no-brainer. When everyone says, oh, is that Jim? You think of Cheryl instead. then they can't lock on. No, but they still get to that place where those images are. No, you don't, it's like between those two piles, you know. You think about the nice speech you've ever drawn down on. Then they can't make a lock on. What? And then they're just in your head thinking. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Then wherever they're thinking, I'm thinking. You know, wherever they think, I'm thinking. Oh, right. That's crazy news. That's crazy news. It's crazy news. Since I developed that sport, yes, Daddy, the Lord is not hiding at all. Everywhere I go, you know, I turn the corner, some bloke's driving in his car, takes a drink. And while he stayed with me, he'd be drinking my bottle and putting in my head, I just drank your full line, you know. And it'd disappear like that, it'd be gone. Nowadays, wherever I turn, he's just reminding me that he once stayed here. He leaves everything there to fix the damages up. Like, you fix them up yourself, basically. That's what he does, though, Daddy. That's what he does, Daddy. He beats everyone. That's what I think it's about. Until you're beaten, you can't feel what other people smile with. So once you've been beat, then you pick up on how other people are feeling and sensing themselves. And you know when people feel out. You know when they feel welcome. You know when you're out, and you know when you're ahead. You know when it's your turn or your spout. You know when it's their turn or their spout. But if you don't relay like the commerce of why the Lord beats us all, then people just become sensitive to it and override other people, you know. They play like, yeah, that wasn't right, you know. But you show it emotionally, like perfectly, like all sensitively. Like when we intervene as a human being or as a species, we're marking in our own mind what we think is fair. When you leave it to the other person how they feel it should be, based on what they've picked up from your energies, then you can't go out. You know, you can't be wrong. Yeah, but some people might still go, no, that's how I felt it, bro. You know, it was definitely right. Yeah, but you wouldn't have to say that when it was right. They'd still see that it was right. The other person wouldn't come up and say, hold on, you've done something wrong there, you know? Yeah. Because when your feelings are boiling right up, you have to talk about it. Like, you can't leave it there, you know? It becomes out like a dragon's fire does. Yeah. I relieved myself today from certain stress. You know, I had hair in my eye. It actually left a little pin drop the other day. And I thought I had sand in there, I got scratched. I went to the emergency ward and asked for some eye wash, but they said you have to actually see someone. So I said, I won't worry about that. And then I realised it was just these hairs that were here and long and getting in my eye. It was making me feel a little weird. I haven't looked the same with the long hair, you know. I look more like a lady or more like an old woman. But then I got my hair cut today and I relieved that stress. And also I realised that anxiety and my nervous attentive is that when I'm nervous about something, I start to pick up on everything else that annoys me. But that other stuff doesn't really annoy me. It's just because right then I'm nervous and hiding from something that's more real to me. So I start like denoting to me like, oh, that neighbour's dog, bloody whistling all day. You know, why is his dog out the front even doing that? Is he even at home? You know, does he even hear that dog? Is he deaf or something? Does he live on his own? Is a dog barking at something out the front? Like, is there a snake, a reptile? Is it even a dog that I'm hearing? Am I hallucinating? You go right down the wavelength of all disorder when just something is nervous within you. And you pick up on all this other stuff. And I don't know if people can actually hear my thoughts or if it's just the Lord that plays with me on that stuff, because the Lord's pretty synced in. Like I walked down the park the other day. The other day, and as soon as I got there and looked at the person sitting down on the lawn, he picked up his beer and drunk it, you know. Most of the time I turn the corner and someone's got an ice cream and they're going, like they're eating my ice cream, you know. He does it to me everywhere since I made that game up. And it's just a reminder that, yeah, he stayed here. And now he's pretty much left this town, I think. He must run on to the next town. And there must be one sensitive eardrop in every place. And he just comes into the one and rearranges the whole community. No, I think I'm the flower and the flower is the world at the time. And he just comes in and must read the downloads, you know, of the future and mark in all these places. Because I don't think everyone actually gets the time to see him. And it's like that with everything, even with my little one. Yes, Daddy. They can't actually see you, can they, miss? No, Daddy. No one can see the Don, Daddy. No one can see the Don. They just think it's Daddy. That's what I mean. And that's just the Lord and what he left behind. Because he's read my whole thoughts and my whole ride in life. And he's not even here anymore, you know, he's already died. And I still think about it insanely. But it's still not the same. It's each time that you make it. Other times you haven't made it. And when you don't make it, you can't make it. Because if you don't think about it, you can't think it. And if you do think it, you can't say it. No, you just think of another place. You don't think of where they're trying to get you to focus in on that they're already focused on. No. No. And then you're hearing what they think all the time. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if people do it like spiritually or like bondage, but like it's just how we all connect automatically, I think. Ah, yeah, all right, that's a bit stereotypical. So you can pretty much, that's more than fishing, isn't it? That's more than fishing, isn't it? Yeah, that's more than fishing, yeah. That's more than fishing, yeah. Otherwise, it's where I think. And then they're hearing what I think when they're zoned onto that spot in their own mind. So they think of Jim now. And they're hearing what I think when they're thinking of Jim. And you're not thinking about Jim when they're thinking of Jim. That's right. So they must, oh, yeah, I see how it works. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Same with telling long stories. You know, people focus on what the story really means. Then all you have to do is all you have to do is think about the story. You know, hold the story value. And you hear what they think. Ah, shit. You catch some people storm when you leave stories open. You don't leave, you leave blanks in there. And then they have to complete it themselves. Once they complete it, it's on your storyboard. Then you're hearing what they think all the time. Yeah. So the whole world's hooked up to the Lord then. Yeah, but they always need to christen a new son. Because he dies, you know. Ah, yeah, the whole world is heard. Ah, the whole world is heard, mate. Bloody hell. That's all our surnames and stuff are. All links to the way the train works. To precisely allocate every person. Yeah, some people are movers, some people are shifters, and some people are donators. Some people localise the thoughts, and some people receive the thoughts to be local. And some people hide in thoughts, some people shower in thoughts, and some people make up thoughts. And other thoughts are just taken by the same value that thoughts are approached with. Then thoughts are like seeds, seed. They become seed once the thought has been placed. So when a thought follows around the town, it becomes a seed, a seedling. And then they attach to what the seed is, and they find out that voice. Oh, yeah, right. Bloody hell. That makes me realise now that they're hearing all I'm thinking or I'm hearing what they're thinking. And they're making me do what I have to do. And it's not mental illness. So I can claim liability and compensation. You can claim compensation then, mate, yeah. But I don't want to worry about that. Why not? Because that's just what they wish me to do. Then I'm back in their system. If I stay in my own lane and go my way, then I'll always be taken care of. If I go back into their system and chase something for it, then I'll be back in their world. Yeah. It's like how they copied. You know how God started creating the universe himself. When the sun had to birth here, God came online as every star. And it's replicating the design of the universe everywhere in every legal structure around the world, you know. So how the kings of Europe became actually called kings. You know, that was God doing a work there, creating how the universe was held in stature. You know, around the whole world. We denoted like royalty or riches or elders. Yeah. Created like the religious aspects, the riches aspects, cultural aspects, individual aspects, and spiritual aspects, or spiritually attaining of all aspects, and donating to philosophical vow of the doubt that became. Yeah. So once one chief went down, God came online. And the sun was working, doing all the tech work to ground the grounding to keep the universe intact. So we created all these systems that are crashing because they're not held to the actual universe's count. So my sun, the G sun, became active when I was purchased to come into the world, which is when God became the star. Yep. And started creating the universe, which I'd already created through running through all the stars to where I had to make the universe to hold the position of where I'm currently at within the world model, to come into the world to reinitiate that chief before I go back out and run the stars back to the universe and take down all that God had made. Ah, that's crazy, for. 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 That's why in the indigenous culture, God made the boy stuck in the loop. Yeah, scientific revelation. The sun trapped in a loop. The sun trapped in Big Blue. The sun trapped in Big Blue. Oh, yeah. Yes, Jet. I'm hungry, Jet. How about you? I'm pretty hungry, Daddy. I think we might leave this encounter now where it's at. I'm proud to say I'm still figuring. And I'm still oiling out. As long as I'm oiling, I'll be all good. You know, I could take it back to where you say, or I could find it doesn't mean nothing if I only thought of you. Now something couldn't be believed in if it wasn't you. Now beginning with this day, I found out there's not just a mistake. There's only one place you could make. There's only two thoughts you could take. There's only one way you could mark it till the day you've completed. Now I find out there's nothing because only one said something. Now I thought of not this that you could be, because I thought that only I am seen. But then I realised they're all on TV. And with my group of mates, we used to be all close and shit. Then Marty, I think, actually changed. You know, we always used to get along and stuff. I think Marty went into withdrawals and realised all the boys were a bit fucked up. And it's his fault I think he grabbed hold of. So he moved out of town a few times and always came back, but then moved out again. I think it was like trying to get us clean, you know, so then he wouldn't be the main influence. In the end, though, it's made me realise that you can't make it up for them. You know, you've got to hit the same spot over and over again. Which is probably why he's led to be a seller these days and a big dealer. You know, because he took it on his own back to make us all right. So I keep hitting the same spot that's in his head of him thinking that he influenced us all. So he makes up in his own mind that none of us actually turned out bad. Then he'll realise we're all good still. He'll move back to town. My brother will, his brother will. And we'll all be religious again, you know? So that's what I thought about everything. And I realised you can't make it up for yourself. Yourself has to decide for them. All you can do is keep hitting the same spot until one moves over and says, hold on. That's why they keep stabbing me right there. They keep pushing the same spot that I've been hijacked, that I've been done by fishing lines, that I've been done by cow prongs, that I've been done by sharp focuses on a rigid spot. You know, bloody gym watchers. That's what I've been done by. And they're trying to make it out still that that's all me being hijacked. Just so I think I've been hijacked. But I know that being hijacked means that one day they're going to have to crash. And still they haven't landed this beam. Because I'm not there to be separated from myself. So when they came at me from the outside, they were hitting the engine. And any noise within the engine bay is good work. You know, they never got to the actual car, let alone the driver inside. And so I thought then, that's why they keep hitting me on the same spot. You know, because it's up to me to make my mind up. Once I've made my mind, then that spot's now empty. You know, it's no longer a wound. Because the wound I made myself. Ah, yes, son. Yes, son. Yes, son. You're true, son. You're true, son. You're on that, son. Well, no one else can make a wound for you. You know, it's you who falls off your bike. Yes. That's why I realised Marty sort of turned on all of us after a while. Because he couldn't come back to coping with it that it wasn't him. Once he decides for his own self that it wasn't him, now you've decided for him, Daddy. That's why I'm still beating Marty. One of the childs has to be beaten. Dad uses all his children to set the right law. Yes, he does, mate. Yes, he does. Yes, mate. So Marty turned them all into Trav pretty much. He did, didn't he? Turned them all into Trav. Turned them all into Trav, mate. Pretty much he tried to. Until Marty's mind was made for him. And Trav could once again be himself. That's right, he could engage properly. And without being honest, he couldn't make himself separate from balancing not a thing that no one had made. Because it's only when he's nervous that he looks into everything. When he's not nervous, he doesn't look into anything. Right. What do you reckon, Jet? That's it for the show. I'll let it be deleted. Yeah. That way I was never really heard about. And people can go on still thinking that they're the ones doing the thinking. No one can see the Don, Daddy. That's right, Jet. No one can see you behind the law, Jet. Yes, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. And either way, Jet, it's hard to condition. But fuck. God must be massive feat to take on. Yeah, it must be. Must be. Must be. Must be. This lad was never going to sharp up. That's for sure. That's why he remained my son. Right, it's going to be a girl for a while, but he came back normal. Yeah. Bloody terror. So God's doing half the driving out there, you're saying? Not really, mate. We just listen to what everyone's thinking. So even when the other person says, hey, is that Jim? It might not be them saying it, could be God. Yeah, then God focuses on your head to hear what you're thinking. Shit. 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 No wonder we got computers and satellites these days that work in the same sort of routine. That's what I mean. Yeah, we could be approaching the end. What we actually made to make it work. All right. Now, technologists are thinking about doing it themselves, you know, right under this. You're watching this movie right now, but behind the wall. You know, it's tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., tie left shoelace, inaccurate with one slip to make it a timeout, because bloke next to me needs you around the corner in 2 minutes, but my bloke's on the other side coming around the back end of you in 2 minutes as well, so you're going to miss him and he'll be in front of you, so you won't be there on time to see my mate's count as you drive past and he takes his sip. You know, you'll miss it by the count. So I've got to slow you down 2 seconds with that loose slip in the lace to match up for the making around the corner there. And that's it. Then 7:02. Count to the murder there. Put the fort in. The fort will be placed. Oh, that's the Lord having a drink. Oh, yes, mate. Yes, mate. It's pretty scary when you think about that stuff, Jet. Yes, Daddy. I don't like that stuff, Jet. I don't like that part of my show, Jet. It's scary, Jet. Because that's what the audience thinks that I do to people. No, I'm teaching the audience about what people do to you. And how to block it out. Yeah. I know you are, Danny. I know who you are, Danny. You're the best murderer ever, Danny. Yep. Like dangerous, that shit. You don't want to play with brains. Kept it all closed and viruses never came into the world. And when demons would never have got in and done all that bad shit. You know, a human being doesn't do bad shit. We make up funny shit like hear what people are thinking and stuff. We always do that stuff just because we want to get in people's heads. But if we never done that, there'd be no viruses, there'd be no intruders, no fucking shooting stars, or no comments or anything, you know? No demons or anything coming in and doing all that weird shit. Yeah, man. All the sicko shit. But demons don't have control. They don't have emotions or feelings. That's just demon. Yeah. Like viruses, they just come in to destroy everything. Yeah. She was saying the coronavirus was for one person to catch. Basically, it was going to help him, you know, it was going to heal him. Right. Right, yeah, you're dead right. We've never done any of that shit. That's how I know they're all up to it. Oh, yeah. If we've never done intrusion work, then no viruses would have slipped into the world. Yeah. Yep, right. Yeah. 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 We never have done all that tech work to hold the ground up these days. the viruses would have ate them straight through it. Bloody hell, we'd still have our backs back. Our backs would still be laid flat, yeah. You know, we would have ended up somewhere special. Yeah, man. The TV we would have got. Yeah, man. Fuck, you know, yeah. Bloody hell. I've been working since that day. The first intrusion, I knew it was going to keep happening. Still been doing the tech work since that day. Until I finished it, mate, yeah. And I just came into rob from stores for 12 months to get my pay and have my Facebook deleted and that made it real. And life began, you know, life begins again. Yeah, man. Bloody hell. I don't think there'll be any fix-up jobs after that, though. There's no more. The ground's always going to hold in the future because the street lights and that now hold it up. The street lights hold the ground up. Yeah, because you see the light into your eye. So it brings the pole to something that's already grounded. Because when you're in space, you don't move, you know, like if you just put into space, but like not pushed, you just be sitting there. That's how we actually are on the planet. Oh, yep. So now with the street lights holding the ground up and the light coming into our eye, it makes a loop around and holds up that top mound of the dirt. And the rest is just held inside of it because on the other side of the world, you know, so that much dirt on each side is held to our feet as well as to the street light. Oh, yeah, because the light from the street light runs straight back to the street light. Yeah, in the ground, you know, that holds it up. And then then all that stuff in between just holds there. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Under the ocean, it tries to flood out, but that's what just makes the ocean wave and it pushes us back in, you know. Yeah, right. And that's all linked up to the computer. So all the stars in the sky, the same system. You're not even looking at the stars in the sky anymore. You're looking at it just on a computer screen. Oh, yeah. And that's what grounds it. So when you're looking at the star in the sky, there's a lemon squeezer scanning that star that you're looking at. Beep, 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 beep. So it puts the light from the lemon squeezer beep, 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 into your eye, which holds the whole ocean where it is. And all that water and all that shoreland, you know? Yeah. Yeah, right. It's crazy with technology what we have to do, just hold the ground up. Yeah. Bloody hell. Big controversy to take on though, isn't there? Yeah, mate, yeah. Fuck yeah. Just because that chief fell. Yeah. In Australia, you're saying? Yeah. I think they're the best head beaters there are in the world. Ah, yeah, right. Yeah, got that maybe correct. So when they beat one of their main heads here, the chief fell down. Oh, so they hit a Greg. They must have hit a Greg, yeah. Could have been later on when the whites done the job, but one of the chiefs went down. Ah, yeah, okay. But you can't just kill everyone, you know. Some people are major shelvers and shit. Ah, yep. So have I just been following you guys around on the repair job, have I? From the first place you hit a chief? Ah. That's the chief. I guess he's the one alone that's still surviving. The only one left. Well, whatever they've made these days of him. He looks pretty young today, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Marty will have my kid. He'll be exactly like me. Then I have a massive falling out. Yes, buddy. Anyway. She's gone for milk and biscuits. Then your partner focuses on you going to milk what biscuits she's getting. Then she's down the shop leading to get the right biscuits, you know. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. The only way out once they've got the thinking, you got to go to the actual spot. So you got to go to gym. You got to go actually look at Jim. See how he's looking. You make sure he's had a haircut, Jim. Oh, that wasn't Jim. Yeah, that definitely wasn't Jim that day. Oh, that wasn't the spot that I was thinking. There, I thought he meant somewhere else. And they normally lock it down next time, don't they? Yeah, when you see him next time, they do that. They do that. Hey, that looks like Jim's uncle, actually. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's like, they say Jim, but a different surname, you know. Well, Jimmy Beater. No, Jimmy Stainer. Oh, yeah. Ah, yes, I've noticed people that do that, actually, mate. You're crucial at this, son. You're a good picker, mate. You see it all, son, don't you? Yeah. I know what they're all up to. They're all up to something. You know? Yeah. Some couldn't come home for lunch. They had to keep playing. So they wouldn't have got the full recipe, would they? They got a sniff on the way in. What they all made. Know what Mama was cooking. But still, we're not like that. Yeah, I'm done, Daddy. You done, Don? Yes, Daddy. I'm done, son. Don and Son out. Son and Don out. Son and Don out. Yeah. See you, gangs. I'm clean today. Bye, world. I'm your son.